Cool. I was just about to put on something while I sculpt, says somebody. Yeah, well, this is something. Something. Just sculpting. And I was recording and I figure, I might as well do a live stream. Though I guess I don't have a lot to say, which is probably not a great thing during a live stream. We're supposed to be talking and entertaining and stuff. But I'm just here sculpting, mindlessly sculpting like an idiot. How are you doing today? Today's good. I'm trying to finish up this commission project. I'd like to get that done. I don't know if I'll finish it today. It's kind of some areas are giving me a hard time, but that's how it goes. It always takes longer than you think it will. But it's a good day. It's been raining here in Iowa, which I'm finding out that it's a reminder that I still need to patch some areas of the roof of my barn studio. But it's good. Been a good day. Been a decent day. Let's do something with the hair over here. Oh, wait. So, got the back. I want the kind of working on the back muscles. And I did find, well, actually I didn't find, but my wife found the heat gun, which is how it usually goes. I lose something. But I think this one, it was actually her that used it last, and so I'm going to use that as an excuse for not knowing where the heat gun was. But I found it, so now I can use the heat gun in areas like I get something kind of established, and then I can use the heat gun to keep things in place and then move on to a different area, which is something that I like to do with these kind of gesture studies in polymer clay. That way you're not constantly messing up the areas you've already worked in. Oh, I need to heat up this foot right here. Let's do that. But I'd be interested to know if the person that commented that was sculpting, I'd be interested to know what you're sculpting, what you're working on right now. I also like to, well, I usually listen to podcasts. Right now I was listening to Matt Walsh. I like his he's kind of a right-wing political commentator. Political and cultural, like culture stuff. I like his podcast, though I don't agree with him all the time, but he's fun to listen to. Though I'll admit, it took me a while to get used to him because I listened to one of his podcasts, one of his early podcasts, and I was like, I can't listen to this guy. His voice is all weird and he's talking slow, but I think he's really polished the show up. He kept at it, and I think his show's gotten a lot better. Though I did go back and like listen to all of his older stuff once I kind of appreciated his sense of humor more and everything. But I'd be interested to know what if you guys have a show or shows that you like to listen to, what those are. Let's see. I'm gonna do the back area. Some of this on the arm and the back is still soft clay, so I'm gonna firm that up as well. Kind of have to be careful if you're doing this with polymer clay, because if you stop at one spot for too long, it can start to heat up too much and then melt, and then it like bubbles and turns black and gets all ugly, and then you have to cut it off with an X-Acto knife and start over. So I try to move around and heat it somewhat evenly. These are just thin, this is just thin pieces of clay. If I was firing the whole thing, you want to do that nice and slow and at a recommended heat. This one is just kind of blasting it with some more intense heat for just a sec, but the place that I'm trying to harden, or the layers, are a little bit thinner, so I feel like I can get away with it, and it seems to set up pretty well. So. Notice that this smokes less. It doesn't really smoke. Some of the another type that was like the granite colored polymer clay seems to smoke more when I heat it up with the heat gun. This one doesn't seem to smoke even when I leave it in an area and it gets pretty warm. Left it too long in that spot. Started to see some bubbling. Oops. I don't know if you can see that there. So started to bubble right there and there. Actually, maybe instead of that, screen, maybe I'll put a little mirror. I moved a mirror from the house, which I like to use sometime. Let's do that instead. Somebody's asking why use a heat gun on Sculpey. So the way I like to do it, let me move this. The way I like to do it is just add like a few pieces of clay here and there to an area, like just barely. I was adding these pieces of clay to the back. And then I can heat up that area and it firms up, and that way I don't constantly mess it up. If it was a different type of clay, like with like microcrystalline wax, which I also really like doing by hand, that wax, I feel like I don't mess it up as much when I'm working it by hand, so I don't have to be as careful to not mess things up. But with this one, when I was working on it earlier, I just felt like I kept finishing an area, and then I would go work somewhere else, and then just by holding it, I would mess up an area I was previously working on. So just having a heat gun, once I finish an area, I can heat it, let it cool down, and then it just kind of saves. It's like a little save button on the work. And so I just have found that that works, though you do have to be careful. Like I said, that there's these, if you leave it in a spot for too long, then it heats up and bubbles and gets all ugly. So you do have to be a little bit cautious, but that's just how I prefer to work these areas. Hopefully that answers the question. This table has wheels and I keep moving it around. Oh, I guess I could lock it in place. Maybe I can't. I don't know if it's better with the mirror. Let's see, if I'm using the mirror, I think the mirror is actually supposed to be a little bit closer. Let me